Hi, I'm Jacqueline Raposo of www.thedustybaker.com. Gluten-free and allergy-alternative recipes can be a little bit frustrating and can make for one very, very messy kitchen. But I hope my updated classics and fun flavor combinations show you that with a little bit of mess, a lot of fun, and a whole lot of love, even a dusty baker can produce delectable results. Here we go. Gluten-free blueberry cornbread. Now, normally I make everything from scratch. I blend my own flours, I make all the batter completely from scratch, but sometimes if you are making a full brunch or breakfast for a lovely group of people that you care about, you need to make some shortcuts. So for this blueberry cornbread, I'm actually using a pre-made cornbread mix. So it's got cornmeal, it's got some sorghum flour, it's got the sugar, it's got the xanthan gum, and it's just going to take away the time and all the space that I need when you've got family and little ones running around. So for this recipe, I'm going to take the entire bag of cornbread mix and dump it into my standing mixer with a paddle attachment. And then to that, I'm adding 1.5 cups of unsweetened almond milk because my recipe is going to be both gluten and dairy free. So it's unsweetened almond milk that is at room temperature and does not have any sort of gum in it. Some brands do, some brands have locust bean gum, many don't. So I use ones that do not have any gum in them. 1/3 cup of, I'm using canola oil. You can use safflower or sunflower oil are also very delicious in this, or you can melt some butter. Melt it and cool it a little bit if you don't have a problem with dairy. And then 2 large eggs at room temperature that I've beaten slightly because they were very naughty. And I'm going to put that all in there. I'm going to mix it on low for about 30 seconds until it starts to pull together. And then I'm going to bring it up to high speed for another 30 seconds. So it's going to be slightly lumpy. You're going to be able to see, because cornmeal is rather coarse, you're going to be able to see the texture, which is great. And I'm not adding any other sweeteners to this. You could add some maple syrup, you could add some light brown sugar if you wanted to make it sort of a richer flavor, but you don't need to. And I think this is perfect because we're going to add some nuts and we're going to add some blueberries, and it's going to be a great side for breakfast. So if you're making something that's a little bit savory that you want to pour some maple syrup on or pour some honey, it's great. Wonderful with coffee, and also great for dinner. Great for, fried chicken dinner, it's perfect. So now I'm just going to turn this up to high speed for another 30 seconds. And this is giving especially my eggs some time to sort of mature, get some volume into the mix so that it's not going to be really flat. It's going to have some beautiful air pockets in it. And the mixture already has leaveners in it, so it already has baking powder and baking soda to give it that lift. So between that and the protein from the eggs, we're going to get a lot of lift in this recipe. So that's about 30 seconds. I should turn it all the way off before I take the paddle out. I didn't do that once, and I put a spatula in. Wasn't pretty. Flour everywhere. Very dusty kitchen. So now you can see that it's a rather sticky mix, and when it was mixing, you could sort of see, what do I do? I'm going to balance that there and hope it stays. You could sort of see that it was pulling away from the mixer like you would see with an actual bread recipe. So it's sort of a cross between a bread and a cake. So now that my mixture, oh, it's so fluffy already. Beautiful. Oh, one thing I could have added that I didn't that would make this really incredible is some lemon zest. Some fresh lemon zest, especially if it's coarsely grated, would be delicious in there. So I'm adding 1/2 cup of slivered almonds. I've added hazelnuts to this before that I've toasted and it's great. Pecans, walnuts. If you want to go nuts, you could even try pistachios. They're one of my favorite nuts, but I've never put them into a cornbread before. So those are nicely folded in there. And then to that, I've got 2 pints of blueberries. These are beautiful big blueberries, look at that. So 2 pints of blueberries that I've rinsed, and then I let them sit until they dried completely. If you don't have time for that, just pat them dry with a paper towel. Or you can use, I'm using around 2 cups of blueberries. You can use frozen blueberries as well. Just make sure that you do not defrost them because that's going to change the moisture content and they're going to break. So I'm going to put, I'm estimating, around 3/4 of the blueberries in, and I'm gently going to fold them so that they don't break. So the firmer your blueberries are to begin with, the easier that's going to be. If you have really soft blueberries, they're going to break easily. Luckily, we don't have to knead this batter like you would with a scone, so we don't have to worry about it that much. So here I have my 8 by 11.5 inch baking pan, an old Pyrex that I love. And I've greased it liberally with some canola oil. You can use a 9-inch one as well. It's a very forgiving type of batter. You just watch what your temperature is at so that you know how much time you want it to be in there for. My oven is preheated right now to 375 degrees. And this is going to take up to maybe a half an hour. Depends on the humidity in the air, depends on the exact temperature of your oven. So see, it's a thick batter, so I'm going to spread it out. It's going to rise beautifully and get puffy. I guess I shouldn't say that until it actually does. 9 times out of 10, it rises beautifully and gets very puffy. And it tastes good no matter what. And then I'm going to take the rest of my blueberries and sprinkle them on the top. So they're going to both settle in, tiny bit of stem in there, settle in a little bit, but not too much. The cornbread is going to rise around them. It's going to be beautiful, and then when you cut into it, they're going to burst open. It's gorgeous. All right, so there we go. So I'm going to stick this in my oven, again, 375 degrees for about a half an hour. So I'm going to check it at like 22, 23 minutes. Maybe I'll rotate it. When it's firm to the touch and just sort of springy, then it's all done. So my blueberry cornbread is out of the oven. It took me about 28 minutes. Now what I did not do before that I could have, should have, would have done was to just take the blueberries on top and stir them in a tiny bit. They would have settled a little bit more. It's still going to taste delicious, but it's just not as puffy around the blueberries. But here's a piece right here. I sprinkled on some fresh blueberries so you can see the beautiful layers and the smushiness in there. It's still very steamy. Oh, I just took it out of the oven. It's steamy. So there you go. So you've got the cooked blueberries in the bottom, some fresher ones on top, some other around it. Perfect side dish for summer's day. And that's our blueberry cornbread. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Jacqueline Raposo. For more gluten-free and allergy-friendly recipes, join me at www.thedustybaker.com. Thanks.